welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Stephen Schultz, and today we're talking to a recent graduate of the Zaki Gordon Institute, Micah Johnson, about his film,
Pearl.
Pearl. You like being in front of the camera? It's a little different for you here, isn't it?
No, I prefer to be on the other side of the camera.
Do you think all filmmakers are a little camera shy about getting in front?
I sure hope not.
Do you think it's important to go through these kinds of things?
Of course.
Yeah, because you got to do Q&A at festivals and those kinds of things. Tell us a little bit about your film.
Pearl. Pearl's based upon this young lady that works for a magazine, and she's a writer, and she decides to write this story, a fantasy story about three hags, and it's based upon these disgruntled co-workers that are surrounding her, and the story turns, from reality into this nice fantasy world. It kind of blurs together.
And so her reality becomes the fantasy that she's writing. Yep. It's a great fantasy piece. How'd you come up with the concept?
Well, I heard it in a sermon in church once. The pastor was preaching it, and I kind of took the three hags, that was his story, and I adapted it into a story that I wrote. So
it was great. It was a lot of fun. I think one area your film really excelled in and emphasized and focused on was sound in this particular thing. Did you know you were going to do as much sound work when you were writing the script as you ultimately ended up having to do at the end in post?
No, but I knew I wanted to create a different sound for the movie. So
that's all part of the fantasy world, actually.
Yeah.
Then. So how did you go about doing it? I know you recorded all the sound as though you were shooting it on the set. You did record it.
Yep.
And then you threw all the dialogue away.
Threw it all away.
Stuck the actors in a booth.
Yep.
Had them lip sync up to the movie after you finished editing.
Yep.
How did they do?
Well, a couple of them didn't do so well, but the majority of them did great. It was challenging for them because they had to react the entire movie. So it was definitely a challenge for them.
Could you tweak the performances, did you notice?
Yes,
you did some of that
I definitely had to tweak it in post also.
Wow. So what other things did you do with the sound?
Well, I recreated all the sound effects, and the music also was created.
And so you recorded doorknobs and all that kind of
Everything.
stuff, and everything was laid in.
Yep.
So you had complete control over your audio.
Complete control. It was a lot of fun and challenging at the same time.
Yeah, I'll bet. And what was your background prior to coming to Zaki?
Well, for 5 to 6 years, I've been working for a small production company down in Phoenix, Arizona.
So you already had some experience with
Yes.
camera and lights and that
Yes.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Micah, we're going to take a look at one of your clips.
Excellent.
This piece of paper is proof that you are Prince of all Prescotia. Royalty in commoner clothes. I think not. Why do you come in here and disgrace me so? When the guest of honor is almost upon my doorstep, huh? Get out of here.
Welcome back. We're talking to Micah Johnson about his film, Pearl. You've worked a little bit down in Phoenix. You've gone to the school here up in Sedona.
Yep.
You're staying in Arizona to make movies?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I hope I'm here for the rest of my life, because Arizona is a great state to film in.
In what sense?
Well, you have all the different types of terrain. You have the desert, you have the woods, you have the mountains, you have everything right there for you. So
It is a great, whatever you think of in terms of whatever you want to create, Arizona offers that.
it does.
And it's getting a film crew that's really a well-trained crew base for you, and
Yes.
all those things. I hope we keep you in northern Arizona, though.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Talk a little bit about the effects in your movie, because you did a lot of transitional effects in your film, and it really was amazing.
Yeah, that's where I spent a lot of the time in editing, is in the transitions. Alone, I spent 12 hours on one transition alone, keyframing it out to blend the two.
What is a keyframe?
Keyframe is kind of cutting around like a person and then making it blend into the video clip that's behind it.
And you have to do it frame by frame by frame.
Frame by frame I did it. So I'm sure there's easier ways, but I haven't figured it out yet.
Well, it was a really, really great job.
Thank you.
You also used your brother's voice to replace one of the actors' voices
Yes.
as well, right?
It was the gatekeeper scene in which I had this young lady that lived in California that played the role. And she wasn't here when I was doing the ADR work, so my brother was nearby, so I just grabbed him and threw him in there. Here, make a funny voice up, and so he did it and did a good job. So.
It worked really, really nicely. I didn't notice it when I was watching the movie. So, what are you doing now? Where can we see? What's Micah Johnson up to?
I plan on hopefully staying in Arizona, working for production companies in Phoenix and wherever needed. So.
Okay. Are you doing any projects?
Yes, I'm working on a short film and a feature-length film. So.
Did you make any relationships while at the school that you want to carry on and continue in order to help, like I work on your film and you work on my movie.
Definitely.
Is that an important part of filmmaking, to establish those relationships?
You bet. It's important to create and have a core crew that you can relate with and intertwine with and mesh with real well. So it's a key feature in making films.
What makes a good filmmaker?
Heart.
Heart?
Heart. You got to have a heart for it, because if you don't have that, you're just going to kind of just blah your way through it. But if you have heart for it, you're going to push yourself and try to exceed and do great things in film. So.
Well, Mike, it's been great having you on the show.
Thank you.